tweet out of it and then you can just get off.
Yes. Yeah. Well, hello everyone, I'm Mandy Henry. I'm pleased to welcome you to the first ever DHL Google Plus Hangout with Manchester United stars. We've got Jonny, we've got Wayne Rooney and we've got Tom Cleverley as well. And the event is being brought to you in partnership between Manchester United and DHL, the club's official logistics partner. Well, of course, both partners have led inspirational journeys of going from good to great and reaching new heights. And Wayne, Jonny and Tom will shed some light on the club's achievements along the way. So thanks for sending in all your questions. I'll be putting them to the players. There are some interesting ones, guys. And we'll share their thoughts and give you a kind of behind the scenes look at what it's like being part of such a prestigious club like Manchester United. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The first question is from Amir and it's to all of you. Amir says, who were your childhood inspirations and did you ever imagine that you would be playing for Manchester United? We'll start with you, Tom.
Yeah, well, I grew up as a Bradford City fan, but all my idols played for United. Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, so I'd say them three, and I've been lucky enough to play with two of them, so I feel very privileged.
What about yourself, Wayne? Childhood inspirations?
I'd probably say Paul Gascoigne, and to a lesser extent probably Mike Lowen as well, because they were two fantastic players, and growing up as an Everton fan, we really didn't have any chance really of winning much. So they were two players who played for England and who excited me. So I'd probably say them two.
Roy Keane was mine. I think I was mainly down to the maybe partly the Irish connection, and just loved the way he played and the passion he brought to the team.
Another question from you all that comes from Nikhil, who says, who faces Sir Alex's anger the most?
Everyone really. I think he doesn't single one player out. I think if we're not playing too well and he needs to get his point across, he has to go with the whole team rather than individuals. And obviously if an individual needs a little bit of talking to try and get them to raise the game and stuff, then he'll do that, but he tends to do that more one-on-one rather than in front of the whole group.
So I'm guessing, Tom, you try your hardest to make sure you don't get that anger.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all do.
Okay, another one from Luke for you, Jonny, who says, who's the laziest player when training and what do you think of before facing a team like Real, Chelsea and Man City? The laziest player.
When I first came in the first team, he was one of the hardest workers, but he's in his comfort zone now and he's just chilling out there every day. This guy. No, I think probably one of the laziest in training's got to be Anderson.
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
you're not the first person to say that.
Yeah, I'd say Anderson. I think we might all agree on that. I don't know, but
it's all right as well because he's not here, so you can get away with it, can't you?
Yeah. I don't think he'll get the chance to see this. As far as facing the other teams, I think we all sort of approach them in the same way as we do most of our games, and maybe the fact that they're, tougher opposition, we maybe put that little bit more training in or a little bit more thought into how we're going to play them, and it's just basically all preparation the first couple of days, or the couple of days leading up to the game, and making sure we're right.
Another question, it's for you, Wayne, from Lee Partington, who says, what was your favourite United game you've played in and why?
It's been a few. I'd probably I'd probably have to say Moscow against Chelsea in Moscow. It was obviously Champions League final, and I felt every different emotion you can possibly feel in that game. Obviously taking the lead and then getting pegged back to 1-1, and then extra time got took off, and then it's worse actually watching it from the side than when you're out there on the pitch. And Chelsea had a few chances, and then from when John Terry was stepping off, from thinking you're going to lose it to, maybe a minute later to winning it, was a great experience, and that's definitely my best game.
Okay, Costas has got a question for Tom Cleverley. He says, I'd like to ask you who's the team joker and if you're going to win the treble.
Team joker, there's a few characters in our dressing room. Waz is always taking your phones if you leave it lying about. Rio, Ando, Welbs, all bubbly characters.
Do you try and get players back if they do play a joke on you?
Yeah, now and again, but I just try to lay low and stay out of it. But and as for the treble, we're just taking every game as it comes. We're in a good position in all three for all three trophies. But like I said, just preparing for every game as it comes.
So Wayne, if you're one of the biggest jokers, then who's your best target? Who's the easiest target in that dressing room?
I'd have to say Robin. He's not the brightest. I'd say, as much of a good footballer he is, he's definitely not the brightest off the pitch, and he's just he's easy to get to.
The Daily Mirror asked, what did Ronaldo say to you all in the dressing room after the first leg at Real Madrid? He came in and spent a bit of time with you, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was coming for about 20 minutes, and no, just obviously he's catching up with the lads. You know, it's he was here for a long time, and you know, obviously with the football season, you don't get time to see him. So just catching up, really, nothing really. You know, we want to really be saying out loud, but it's just in general, just chatting.
Okay, Eric has emailed in, Jonny, who's the fastest runner?
I suppose our winger is probably Nani and Valencia would probably be the two quickest. I think there's quite a lot of players in the squad who've actually got great pace, and I think that's what makes us such a good side. You know, we've got plenty of pace all over the team. But I'd say definitely Nani and Antonio, who can definitely over a long distance. And Wazza's been known to get up the good speeds in the past with a funny style of running. But I think them two off the mark would definitely be the quickest.
Okay, another one from Max for you, Tom, who says, what do you guys think of RVP? And a backup question from me, is it great to have someone with that much experience? Is it almost like having another Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs in there?
Yeah, obviously he's a great player. He's an unbelievable finisher, and we all know like what he could do from seeing him at Arsenal. But playing with him, I've noticed he's really good at holding the ball up as well. He's physical, and that's something that I didn't really know how good he was until I played with him. So it's great to have a player with his experience, and I'm sure he can add to the squad and help us win trophies.
Question here from Habib, who says, Wayne, who has the best personalities in the dressing room? And another one from George, who says, who's the best and worst dressed in the team? Really dishing your teammates, haven't you?
Best personalities? There's a few really. As Tom said before, the lads who like to joke around, and probably everyone. There's no one really who's really quiet and stays out of it. So there's not really anyone in particular. But I think as a team, the team's got a lot of personality in the squad has. So, and the best dressed, I don't know.
You're not allowed to say yourself.
Okay then. It's probably, I don't know, probably lads who try every day really. Sometimes probably a few of us are a bit lazy and try, but I'd probably say Rio and Rio, yeah. And the worst dressed.
Come on.
Is.
It's his name, me.
No, it's not you.
Jonah.
There's actually Phil Jones. I wanted to say three. Yeah, there's Phil Jones, Anderson is just disgraceful, and there's Lindegaard.
Okay.
I don't think Anders is too bad.
Too bad. The first two.
I think Alex Butler might be getting thrown into that one soon.
Yeah, Jonah for me.
Phil Jones, anything that's got a label on it, you buy it. Any expensive labels, I don't think have to match.
So not necessarily much taste along with that.
No, as long as they've got like Christian Louboutin red soles, he'll wear them. And that with a heel.
Interesting, I was going to say that, yeah. We're bringing a whole new light on Phil Jones here. Another one here from Claire Shepherd, who's asking you, Jonny, my son wants to know what you do after a game. Do you just chill out at home, or how do you relax after a game?
It's actually probably one of the worst things. After games, you can't sleep, sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning. I think we'd all probably be the same, especially if it's a nighttime game. So I think you just end up getting yourself home and trying to unwind as best as you can. And it's probably not a good thing to go to bed too early, because you'll just be staring at the ceiling. So I think just for myself, just watch TV, try and catch on things that I've missed, and then get myself to bed and try and get to sleep, get as many hours in as I can before we're up again the next morning.
This is for all of you. This one from Kieran, who says, who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? We'll start with you, Tom. It's always a big debate, isn't it?
I never played with Ronaldo. Two different players, but at the minute I'd probably take Ronaldo.
Wayne?
Obviously, as Tom said, two different players, and I think Messi is just incredible for me. I think he's the best ever, so I'd have to say Messi, but I think Ronaldo's been a little bit unlucky that he's run in the same era as him, because in any other time then he would have been winning the awards what Messi's won. So, but both, you know, two of the best players of all time.
Jonny?
It's hard to compare me because, like I say, we haven't really had the chance to see Messi up close every day, and we have had that with Ronaldo. And I think the fact that, you know, when Ronaldo was here, you know, I was in the first team for one season with him, and you know, you sort of take it for granted the quality that he had, and but I really don't think I could choose. But just for the fact that I've seen Ronaldo day in, day out, and the dedication he has, I'd probably have to say Ronaldo.
Interesting one. A lot of ex-players have said, you know, maybe if you take Ronaldo out of Real Madrid and put him in any other team, he'd improve them, which is perhaps a fair point. But Messi could probably do that as well, couldn't he?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Joshua has sent in a message saying, Cleverly, if a fight went down, who would you want to have your back? I presume he's talking about teammates.
Don't want to say it, but I'd probably have Wazza in my corner.
Would you likewise have Tom in your corner? Andrew says, Jonny, what's it like? What's life like playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world?
You don't really get to appreciate it. No, it probably won't be till you retire, and sometimes you sort of have to step back and realise where you are, and you know, the amount of pressure on you and the amount of, you know, interest that people have even in just your life, you know, having to do things like this, and so I think that's one of the biggest things that it's hard, sometimes it's difficult to come to terms with, because you just want to go out and play football, and you've always done that as a kid, but you know, it's the other side of it that you know, it's a big wake-up call, a big sort of shock to the system, but you know, it's an enjoyable place to be.
It's not a bad life playing football, is it?
You know, you wouldn't swap it for anything.
Amin says, Wayne, what's your favourite thing to do on a day off?
I don't know, it depends on the weather really. If the weather's nice, then I like to go out and play a bit of golf, and if not, and then other days when we have days off, go out with my family, you know, take me son out and just chill out really. So it's but there's not really that much you can do, because you know the next game's around the corner, so there's not really much you can do. Especially
at this stage of the season as well.
Yeah.
Amin has sent in a very interesting question. What do you do if you're desperate to go to the toilet during a game? Whoever wants to answer this one can feel free to answer. Why are you're both looking at Tom?
You don't really. I don't think
I've never had that feeling.
No, you don't really. One game I have had to run off, but it was like I asked the referee. It was about a minute to go to half time, and I said to him, "How long's left injury time?" He was like, "A minute left," and as soon as that whistle went, I sprinted. I think I actually pushed the manager out of the way, but no, it's not very often that happens.
Dan says, Tom, is there music playing in the changing room pre-match? If there is, what is it, and who gets to choose it?
Yeah, every game, Patrice Evra gets that duty.
Is he good at it?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes no. I think Ashley Young and Danny Welbeck try and force the way in as well. But no, to be fair, he tries catering for everyone, and he does quite a good job at it.
Wayne Minaj has sent in a message. My question is, how was the feeling to be playing against Ronaldo after so many years playing together? It must be weird.
Not really.
No?
I've played against him before for England and against Portugal, and I think we face it, you know, quite a lot in the league. You're playing against, you know, played against John O'Shea, Wes Brown, players who you've played with for a long time, but I think at the end of the day, them players have moved on, and you're playing for Man United and they're playing for a different team, so it's not really that much difference, to be honest.
Okay. Karen says, Jonny, do you ever suffer with bad nerves just before a big cup match, before you go on the pitch, or do you not think about it?
I don't think I've ever been at the stage where I've been so nervous that I don't want to go out on the pitch. I mean, I think there are certain games where you get, butterflies, and I think you sort of get that, as you're coming up. I always sort of get that experience when you come to the stadium and you see the stadium, and it just gives you that sort of little bit of butterflies. I don't think that's a bad thing, and it sort of switches you on really, and you sort of wakens you up really to the fact that you've got a big game ahead.
Jonny has said, do you think Manchester United will win the Champions League?
Well, we're still in it. We're in a good position. It's obviously a lot of top quality teams still in it, but if we keep playing like we are, then we've got every chance.
The manager was talking about how the FA Cup's full of surprises. I suppose it's a bit like the Champions League, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen, who you're going to draw. Yeah. We've
had some tough draws in all the cup competitions this season, I think. Premier League clubs in the League Cup, FA Cup, and then tough draw in the last 16. So
still in everything, as you see. Andre says, what are your best training tips?
I don't know. I think you just work hard and keep practicing on things you feel you need to improve on, or things you feel can help you for the upcoming games. That's what I try and do, and that's it really. You keep working hard. You train with the team, but then after training, there's little bits of individual stuff you can do which can help you when it comes to match day. So I tend to do little sharp movements and little finishes at the end of it, which I feel benefits me when I get in front of a goal on a match day.
Okay, another one from Sanchi who says, who do you like more, Paul Scholes or Ryan Giggs? That's harsh, isn't it?
That's harsh. On terms of football, or
we'll go for that. Yeah, it's probably a safer answer.
I mean, it's hard to compare them on the pitch. I mean, obviously you can compare them in their styles of play, but in terms of the quality they have, the experience, and just basically the things that they do sometimes, just mesmerises you. They'll do things, and just everything about them, their vision, it just always seems to be ahead of everyone else, and I think that's one thing that they've got in common in that sense.
Very hard to split the two. Samir says, what's your best moment so far of the season, Tom?
Probably with Jonny, actually, on the dugout at the Etihad. We were both off at the moment when Robin scored, but it was a great feeling when seeing that goal went in, and a great win.
Do you celebrate like a fan when you're...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think I just grabbed the first person seeing it. It happens to be Jonny.
Sanchi says, Wayne, how does it feel when the fans chant your name?
It's brilliant, obviously. It's a great feeling when you've got thousands of people singing your name. So it's an amazing feeling, and it's something which you take for granted, really. Which when you look back, you won't realise how much it means, and to have so many people singing your name and supporting you.
Can you really hear it all the time on the pitch? Are you aware of it all the time when you're focusing on the game?
Yeah, you can always hear what the fans are singing. So it's but to be fair, our fans are brilliant. They sing a lot of the players' songs, even sing a lot of the ex-players. So it's great that they keep the history of the club in that sense. But personally, it is a great feeling when they're all singing for you. So.
Dinesh has asked an interesting one for you, Jonny, which you might not want to look back on. How did you feel when Sir Alex shouted at you during the AC Milan match, and how did that affect you in your fantastic run thereafter? Do you remember that?
I do. I mean, that happens regularly on the pitch between the manager and players. I think just for some reason the camera just caught that moment perfectly.
I remember.
But like I say, it happens all the time. The manager will come rushing out to the sideline, and if someone's not, performing as they should be, or they do something and he thinks they need told, he'll tell them.
Does that make you more nervous, or does it help you and think,
no, it doesn't.
The game on?
No, I mean, I think the manager's great in the fact that he usually just lets you play your game. He's not one for coming to tell you how to play football. He just let you get on with it, and he trusts his players to go out there and, you know, play the game as they see it. But like I say, if there's one or two instances where he might come rushing out and have a go at you.
Alexander says, to everybody, who would you choose for a 6-a-side game on your team? This could take some time, so we'll let's have you all picking a 6-a-side team. Who would you have in it?
What, from United or?
Yeah.
Scholes,
I'd have Scholesy.
Rio.
No. Scholesy, Welbeck, Tom, Shinji, Giggsy, and Robin.
Jonny not getting in there.
Didn't even get a mention. Didn't even get a consideration there.
You don't need defenders in the 6-a-side.
Okay.
Listen, you do.
Yeah.
Telling you. Counter attack. My team would just counter attack us. I just pick all defenders. Listen, you play 6 defenders against 6 attackers, the defenders always win.
There we go. Danny says, what's the one characteristic that sets United players apart from the rest of the players in the Premier League and the Champions League? Is it tenacity, determination, pure talent? I mean, what's got you that, 12 points clear at the moment, would you say? Determination, team spirit?
I think just consistency. We've been the most consistent team, and that's obviously put us in a great position. Other teams, when they've dropped points, we've managed to keep winning or not lose many games. And I think the team spirit and the desire to win it all comes from the manager, which has been in place here for 26 years, is it? So it's the players all know what we have to do, and we all want to win. Where in other teams you can see they have some problems, with players at the training ground and stuff, where here that never seems to happen. So I think we all want to win together. That's whether you're starting the game or you're sub or sometimes not even on the bench. There's no bitterness between the players. They all want to work together and win together.
Okay, well, best of luck for the rest of the season, guys. That does bring the Hangout to an end today. My thanks to Wayne, Jonny and Tom for being such great sports and joining us today. And a big thanks to the fans' question as well. They were fantastic. Thanks to DHL as well for the opportunity that we've had to hear Manchester United's journey from good to great up close and personal with the players today. And keep an eye out on DHL, Google Plus and Twitter channels as well for future events. But until then, goodbye and see you all soon.